23rd, world leaders will convene in New York City for the UN Climate Summit. This meeting is a prelude to the UN climate negotiations scheduled for December 2015 in Paris. Previous attempts to create a global treaty that will lead to a reduction of carbon emissions have failed. People are organizing now to demand bold action on climate change. The Rochester People's Climate Coalition formed as a response to that call to action. We are an umbrella organization comprised of many groups with diverse missions. We include mothers and fathers, professionals and students, retirees and business people, educational leaders, governmental leaders, and faith leaders, city, suburban, and rural residents. But we are also unified by the knowledge that climate change is the most serious issue facing us today. Unified by the belief that we can solve this challenge. The Rochester People's Climate Coalition is organizing to send a large contingent to the People's Climate March in New York City on September 21st. We are determined to take our future into our own hands and feet. Rochester's strong participation in this march is critical and will demonstrate to our local leaders that we support efforts to address climate change. The speed with which this coalition has come together, a mere 2 weeks, speaks to the level of concern that our community feels. As Charlotte Baltus, one of our leaders, said, with all of the climate change wake-up calls globally and closer to home, we should be demanding bold action from our leaders. Participating in this march is something concrete and effective that we can do, and we need everyone at the march. Don't wait for your neighbors to do it for you. This is simply too important. Already, Rochesterians are organizing carpools, buying train tickets and bus tickets to the march. Of the 112 bus tickets we have arranged, only 27 remain. And through generous donations, the cost is now $20. Residents who want more information can go to peoplesclimate.org/WesternNY. Rochester People's Climate Coalition is already at 30 members and growing daily. There are many representatives from our coalition who wish to share their perspectives on climate change with you. But I'd like to first acknowledge those members who are not able to speak this morning. They include Congresswoman Louise Slaughter, the Rochester-Genesee Valley Area Labor Federation, the League of Women Voters, St. Thomas Episcopal Church, Interfaith Alliance of Rochester, First Unitarian Church of Rochester, Friends of the Gardenaerial GREENTOPIA, Citizens Climate Lobby, Progressives in Action, Move to Amend, Renewable Rochester, Berkshire Geothermal, Upper Monroe Neighborhood Association, Carbon Cutters Lawn Care, and Rochester Area Vegan Society. Those members who are with us today, I'd like to start by inviting Peter Debs from Rochester Regional Group of the Sierra Club. Okay. How about Sandra Frankel, 10-year Supervisor, Town of Brighton. 20, so sorry.
Climate change is real. We all know that. We must seize this opportunity to adopt and implement policies and programs that will control the global warming of our planet for the good of our long-term health, well-being, economy, and future viability. At risk is nothing less than our water and food supply. Increasingly severe weather events will put people, animals, and crops at risk. Melting ice caps at the poles means rising oceans and the eventual loss of shoreline in some of our most congested coastal places like Florida, like New York City. Economies will suffer and violent conflicts will increase because of competition for viable places to live that can provide the resources necessary for life. I want to be sure that all of our children and grandchildren inherit a planet that will be sustainable, a place to live that will be kind to them now and for generations to come. That's why it's so important that we make our voices heard as world leaders convene in New York City to discuss the most pressing issue of our time. You know the drill. Think globally and act locally. That's why I'm going to march in New York on September 21st, and I hope you'll stand with me or stand with us at home. We have the power of our voices and votes to make America's leaders take action, and our united voice for constructive action will be heard worldwide. At the grassroots level, we must take steps to reduce our carbon footprint. This is a critical moment to make our voices heard for positive, responsible change. We can do it, we will do it, we must do it, and we must give our leaders the will to do it. Thank you.